welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today. So today I will be doing a swatch and review of the Aura Bloom Whispers of the Wilderness collection that launched on November 7th, 2025. So I had every intention of getting this out sooner, but I was having some technical difficulties, so it's a bit delayed, but I hope this video is still helpful. So this first polish that I'm swatching here is Wandering Wisteria, and it's a black linear holographic polish with a light purple pearlescent shimmer. So I really love this finish, the finish of this entire collection. And the one thing that I think really sets it apart is that these are pearl shimmers and not just, like regular shimmers. I'll say up front, I do a little bit of a comparison, towards the end of the video. But I was not able to find any exact dupes for any of these polishes in my collection of 2,000 plus polishes. So I don't know, that's actually just very impressive. And I just love that Laura, the maker, kind of pushes herself to kind of make things that are truly unique. So kudos to her. And I also just inserted a full hand swatch so you could kind of see what it looked like. Again, I adore this finish. I love, the holographic base with this like shimmer running through. And again, the pearlescent shimmer just really is just gorgeous. So this next one is called Verdant Veil, and it's a black linear holographic polish with a medium sage green pearlescent shimmer. And I absolutely adore this one as well. I love sage greens. Definitely one of my favorite colors to wear, especially in the fall, especially in winter. So another beautiful polish. And here again are my full hand swatches, 2 coats, top coat, and it's beautiful. This next one is called Runic Rouge, and it's a brownish black linear holographic polish with a maroon pearlescent shimmer. Alright, up next is Whispering Woods. So this one is the only one that is described as with a brown base. The description is a brownish black linear holographic polish with a light woodsy brown pearlescent shimmer. So for this one, it definitely read more as a taupe to me, which I mean, that's just a matter of opinions. I love taupey polishes. I said this in a post, but there used to be a Wet n Wild polish that was taupe. I don't know if it still even exists, but I used to love wearing that. And so this polish just felt very nostalgic because, I don't know, that was the polish I used to wear in undergrad. And I don't know, it just took me back there for a little bit. So I really, really adored this one. And the reason why I feel like it's taupe is because just to my eye, it feels like there's like a hint of like a purple in there. I could be making that up, but that's just what I see. All right, this next one is called Nightfall Nimbus. And it's described as a black linear holographic polish with a medium dark blue pearlescent shimmer. And last but definitely not least, Arcane Amethyst. This one is a black linear holographic polish with a rich purple pearlescent shimmer. So I always try to choose like half the collection to pick my favorites, but I really struggled with this particular collection, and so I had to I ended up picking 4 favorites. So this one's one of them: Arcane Amethyst, Runic Rouge, Whispering Woods, and Wandering Wisteria. Those, I mean, if I had to pick, I would pick all of them, to be honest, but I struggled with picking 3, so I picked 4. It's my video, I get to make the rules. But yeah, this one was just stunning. Like, I love purple. Purple is my favorite color, and this one did not disappoint. So I apologize because I had a cold and I'm just getting over it, so my voice is a little hoarse, so we'll see how this goes. But for this next section, I wanted to do some comparisons. And I started with Whispering Woods, as you can see, and I wanted to compare it to another brown that was in Aura Bloom's catalog called Rags to Riches. As you can see, they're definitely not dupes. Whispering Woods definitely is much cooler, again, much tauper, in my opinion. But I just figured it'd be nice to do that comparison in case you already owned Rags to Riches. And so what I did is, and again, there might be a better way to do this. Go ahead and give me a suggestion if you do know of a better way. But what I did was I just essentially used these white silicone discs to kind of create this even canvas. Of course, this isn't going to be the most accurate or true to color because like compared to what would be on your nail, simply because the canvas is different. But I felt like this was probably the most controlled and like objective way to do swatching, and kind of show all these different color comparisons. Again, I was not able to find any one-to-one dupes, but you know, I figured that if you're going to make a purchasing decision, at least you can see color comparisons. I also just picked out some like taupey purpley browns from my collection. So this one's Crummy Plummy from Cracked. Again, not a dupe at all, but I just figured I would show it for color comparison purposes. This next one is from Olive and June, Milk Chocolate. One of my favorite polishes from Olive and June. Unfortunately, it doesn't look that great on me, but I just love the color in the bottle. Definitely reads a lot more chocolatey brown compared to Whispering Woods. And this next one is from Broken Pixels Halloween collection, Medico de Pastel. Again, very different, definitely more bronzy in color. And Broken Pixel, their formula is also just a little bit different. I love Broken Pixel, but I think one of the things that I've kind of like noticed in terms of like a brand like go-to is that her polishes definitely are a little bit more on the sheer side, so that's another difference. I love both Aura Bloom and Broken Pixel, but just something to note. Again, no dupes here. This is Holo Taco's, I think this is Secret Society, that's right. Secret Society definitely leans a lot more olive and green, but it just kind of again has that kind of muted brown tone, which is why I picked it out. And then I just wanted to layer that Medico de Pastel again, just to kind of make it, I think, more of a fair comparison. This next one is Espresso Your Holo from Holo Taco. And this last one is Scorned, I believe, from Bee Sneeze. Another color that looks beautiful in the bottle, but does not look good on me and my skin tone. I think I'm going to try it again, but I think I'm going to de-stash that one eventually. Just because it's just not a color that I personally like wearing. It's just, I think it's gorgeous. It's like a Prugly, but it just does not look good on me. This last one is Need I Say Mocha from Holo Taco. Again, just reads a little bit more of like a yellowy brown versus like a taupey brown. This next one, I think I keep saying last one. This next one is Annie Hoosers from Cracked. Definitely reads again as more of like a bronzy brown compared to Whispering Woods. It might be actually a good like close dupe for Medico de Peste. I would have to actually compare them, but they kind of both have that bronzy like kind of tone to them. And so now I'm trying to hold it up and kind of like show you with all the different angles and the light hitting at different angles. As you can see, no real dupes here. And then I also turn down my light source so that you can kind of see it more in like room lighting. Alright, moving on to the next polish. This one is Nightfall Nimbus. And I wanted to compare it to another blue that I really love from Aura Bloom's catalog called Drowned Abyss. Again, Drowned Abyss is a little bit more of a deeper, more royal blue. And Nightfall Nimbus is just a little bit more muted. So yeah, you can just see that it's a little bit more of a richer, deeper color. And then this is a brand that I got in a little mystery boxing. I thought it's really pretty. It's like a blue hollow, but I just thought I would do a comparison. I don't have too many polishes from this brand, but I guess I just wanted to use it just in case. someone out there did and wanted to know the comparison. Again, I think it really comes down to the base. In Nightfall Nimbus, the base is a black hollow, and all these other ones have a blue base, and so I think that's kind of the difference that you would get, or like what contributes to the difference in color. This next one I believe was from Olive Ave. I can't remember the name, but I definitely showed it, so you can rewind a little bit to see the name. But again, just much more of a royal blue. All right, this next one is for Verdant Veil. I think I said that wrong earlier. Veil. Again, I love this green. I just love how sagey it is. It did not make my top 4. But still, like, it was really hard for me to choose favorites again with this particular collection, because I've been really loving these like holographic bases with the shimmers running through. I wanted to compare to Secret Society just because Secret Society again is a green, definitely a more muted greenish olive color. Definitely not dupes, but again, just for the color comparison. And it kind of also sometimes reads, I guess, as like a sage, but like a different kind of sage green, like olivey sage. I don't know if that's possible, but yeah. And then this next one again is from Broken Pixel, the Caper Crusader. I have actually never swatched this one, like on my nails. I need to do that at some point because I really love this particular color. But again, this one definitely reads as more of like a yellowy olive. Still very muted, as you can see, but definitely has like a drop of yellow in it compared to the other 2 polishes that are here. And then Ethereal's Gloomwood. Again, not a dupe at all, but definitely reads again as that more browny muted like green color. Oh yeah, I forgot. And this one also has like a reddish brown base. I always forget that because in the bottle it just looks green. Cracked the Shag. This one I actually like in my mind was thinking that they'd be much more closer in terms of color. But again, I think that difference really comes down to the base in the Aura Bloom polish in Verdant Veil being like a black hollow. But the Shag is also just a really beautiful sage color. And then this next one is Magic Brownies from Broken Pixel. This is like one of the polishes that made me really like, I don't know, gravitate towards Broken Pixel. I believe I received this in PR. Like it was my very first PR that I think I ever got, if I remember correctly. But I love this polish because it just reminds me of spring, like the earth, you know, being like wet and rich and like green coming out of it. That's exactly what this polish always reminds me of. Definitely one of my favorites, but again, not a dupe, and it has like a brown base, which I forget about when I'm looking at it in the bottle. And then for this last part, I wanted to compare Arcane Amethyst, Wandering Wisteria, and Runic Rouge, just because for some reason, like when I was just swatching them, they all kind of read as purple, even though they're all different, like purples, like, and also like one leans maroon. But I just figured that it'd be nice to kind of swatch them against each other so you could see the difference. There is a very clear difference, but again, in my mind, when I was like swatching them independently, I almost like, I don't know, like, I just kept thinking that they were very, very similar, but they're not. So I think this is like more for me. But I think it's a good comparison nonetheless. Again, all of them have that same base. It's really the shimmer that sets them apart. And just to give you a little bit of a spoiler, some of these they weren't one-to-one dupes to some Mooncat polishes, but they came very, very close. I think the difference again is the pigment in these are pearl pigment, whereas the ones that are in the Mooncat are just like, they're not pearl pigments. I think they're just shimmers. But here you can definitely see the difference in all of them. Like the amethyst one is definitely very purple, and then I think it's Whispering Wisteria is like the in-between. It's like the sibling, or like it's like related to both of them. It's like the child, like if they were to have a baby. And then Runic Rouge is just red. So I started with Nightcrawler, which was from Mooncat, and that's the one that's in the upper left-hand corner. I think I had forgotten, or I had been recording when I put down that swatch. But it just helps you kind of see, or I guess like I'm just going over that. And the other one is Malevolent from Mooncat, and that one's kind of in the lower right corner. Again, not a dupe, but it came very close to being very, very similar, and you'll kind of see that here, being very similar to Whispering Wisteria. But again, just the difference is that Whispering Wisteria has that pearl pigment, whereas the Mooncat has like a shimmer, and I believe it has a little bit of like larger holographic particles. And then Laura, who's the maker, wanted me to do a comparison with Blood Moon from Mooncat because I just so happened to have that one. And she didn't have it, but she thought it would be a really close dupe to one of the polishes. And again, I think it could scratch the itch. I don't think it's a dupe. And again, the difference just comes down to the pearl pigment versus the regular shimmer. This was another one from Mooncat. Again, not a dupe, but because it's just much more vibrant red. But I think again, it could scratch an itch. Like the polishes from this collection could scratch an itch if you weren't able to get that particular polish from Mooncat, or if you don't want to pay $18 for a Mooncat polish. And then this one's from Hula Moon. It was from HHC. Again, I really love this finish with like the hollow and the shimmer in it. But again, the Hula Moon is just much more vibrant, whereas the ones from Aura Bloom are like more muted because of that black base. So again, not a dupe. But definitely one of my favorite finishes, as you can see. And then Super Moon Lacquer, this is another one that I got in a mystery D stash. Much more of a vibrant, like I think it's a straight hollow. It's not like hollow with shimmer in it. I think it's just a hollow. And it almost looks like a dupe for the Mooncat at this angle. And then Royal Lee, again, this one has like a magenta, well, I don't know about again, but it has a magenta shimmer in it. So again, definitely not a dupe. Then Island P, First Dance. I think I just really picked this one because of the overall tone. Definitely not a dupe, but just something about the tone I think was like, I don't know, making me kind of curious. The Observer's Paradox, this one is from Lurid Lacquer. And I think I just picked it out because it has that like purpley tone, but it again also has that green in it, which just again makes it such a deviation. Definitely not a dupe. This one's from Wildflower. It's a purple holographic with like a reddish orange shimmer in it. I just picked it out again because of the holographic polish. Again, not a dupe. This is Baron X Aces of Cups. Also not a dupe. It might be a closer dupe to the Wildflower, but definitely not a dupe for any of these polishes. Oh, actually no, because I have a blue base. It's just so interesting when you look at a polish like in the bottle, how it can read. Tahitian Pearl. I pulled this one out because this one kind of gives off a similar vibe, even though I think the pigments in there are more like a multi-chrome, but it has that like black base and like kind of the purple like multi-chrome running through it. It's like a purple to green, I guess. Really unique polish for sure. Oh my gosh. This one's from Tyler's Trinkets. The name always makes me laugh on that one. It's like something about tacos. I literally just missed it. But yeah, definitely has a blackened base with that purple shimmer, but the black is just a little bit more pigmented compared to the ones from Aura Bloom. Oops. And then this one is That's My Jam from Broken Pixel. Also not a dupe. Again, the base is just completely different, but tonally I think it could match what's it called? Arcane Amethyst. And then this one's from Glisten and Glow, Reveal Yourself. I feel like this one had more of a blue base, if I remember correctly. I remember when I purchased that, I purchased like 2 other polishes from that same HHC, and they were like really, really close dupes, which was unfortunate. But a really beautiful polish nonetheless. And then this one's Lurid Lacquer Together Inseparable Laughing, and this is just like it's more of like a muted purple holographic. Again, really beautiful, but definitely not a dupe. And here I'm gonna kind of hold it up so you can kind of see it on all the different angles. Really, the Mooncat polishes, there were a few that like I would say scratch the itch, or like I guess the Aura Bloom would scratch the itch for the Mooncats, because I don't know, like again, I would rather not pay $18 for a polish, but I would pay Aura Bloom prices for a polish. So if you were missing out on some of those Mooncat polishes, this might be a good time to pick up some of those dupes. Or I mean, they're not one-to-one dupes. Again, they're just like they tickle that itch or scratch that itch. Oh my gosh, I am losing it. But yeah, that concludes this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all your time and attention, and I really hope all of you are doing really, really well. This last screen is just like all the swatches together. And again, my favorites, they were all my favorites. Again, it was hard for me to choose, but really just came down to ones that were like more reddish or purplish, and like the brown Whispering Woods. But yeah, anyway, take care, and I'll see you in my next video.